Welcome to the game of the week tonight. It is Margaretta versus St. Mary's Central Catholic Panthers. And with us is Dave Wiedeneff. This is Tom Whaley. Our condolences go to Mark Fogg and his family. There was a death in his family, Mark's father, and we certainly wish Mark and his family the best. Dave, got a good game tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, Tom, in this one, the way it started off in Polar Bear country, we were expecting the big brouhaha, everything that this thing was built out to be. And, of course, Margaretta makes it awfully tough on all of their opponents, no matter how good they may be, every time it comes into Polar Bear country and playing basketball. And I tell you what, the student body, I was actually at this game tonight, Tom. The student body for St. Mary's is top of the line, but they've had an awful lot to cheer for this year. 7 wins in a row going into this game. And also going into this game, I believe it was 15-2 at that time. And they hope they have better things on the horizon. Polar Bear fans waiting to watch their heroes take on the court and maybe pull another giant upset. You remember a couple of weeks ago, the Redskins brought in that state-ranked team, and the Polar Bears knocked them off. Same intentions tonight for the Polar Bears here with St. Mary's coming to town. Yeah,
I'll tell you, I really enjoy shooting the game of the week at Margaretta. Really, really great staff over there. There's Lococos, Dave.
Oh, the St. Mary's diehards, but
absolutely.
Some of the Lococos also have ties to Coach K on hand. Yep, how you doing, Coach K? Big victory coming up tonight, but you don't know it there. Some of the Cocos also have ties to Greg Hedden over at Port Clinton.
That's right, because he says something here in a second. There's the coach for Margaretta, Ty Roth. Troy Roth, and there's his daughter.
Wow, Troy's got a young team this year. Big double weekend at the Bear Lair.
Like I said, Dave, I really like shooting games at Margaretta. Boy, the staff over there and the student body, just a great place to shoot. And it's a fun gymnasium.
Even before I moved to the local radio stations here in town, I would come in with visiting radio station and do the games. And Phil Feedy and the guys were always top class. They make it easy to work at Margaretta, and that certainly is a big benefit. Boy, I look at all these Panther fans and just think they have so much to cheer for coming up, and they're enjoying themselves so much justifiably before the game.
Look at this guy here.
He'll be out there soon. And he does look like a young Patrick Phillips. I think of Coach K and the interview we had. Oh, there's Uncle Larry.
That is who?
That's my Uncle Larry, one of my dad's 3 younger brothers.
He's always at the games. Always at the games. There's some football.
Yeah, the J Train's in the center. He's going to Kent State to play football, and the rest of those boys, they still want to play football. Unfortunately, it's basketball season. Ben Barnett is to John's right, I believe. Yep, that's Ben.
Yep.
The thunder and lightning of Margaretta football this year. That's what it's all about, huh, guys?
Yeah, they had fun that night.
That's about as quiet as you're going to see St. Mary's fans be this entire night. And the Polar Bear faithful are just waiting for the storm tonight. A senior-laden team with St. Mary's, and they can hit you on all angles with a number of different personnel. And the Polar Bears just come at you with sheer athleticism, basketball talent, and a couple of really tall guys that prevent some problems for other teams inside and outside. It's going to be a packed house, by the way, by the time this varsity contest starts off at Margaretta. Talked with Coach K ahead of time, a real long interview, and I really feel I'm happy for Tom. He's having such a great season.
There you are.
Here we're at the office. The headsets are working there.
Had some technical problems, huh? Look at this.
WLEC. Go Port Clinton or St. Mary's.
All righty.
Little plug there for you.
I'm trying to think between Port Clinton and St. Mary's, they might have 30 or 35 wins. But a great experience for Tom Kowaleski to have this big season and coach both his sons on a team that's having such great success.
I couldn't figure out the symbolism here. I don't know what's going on.
It might be one of those few things we're not supposed to know. Lindsey Crawford, Miss Cold Creek on the right, and this game is underway. Young team out there from Margaretta. Rob Hahn with a little illness during this week. And game of the week would feature Brandon Wadding right there, number 32, starting off for the green and white. And Margaretta's going to take the shot on goal here, back iron. But a big rebound by Jake Meisler. And he's just having a tremendous sophomore season. And at this point, you don't even say sophomore for a player like that. You just say Jake Meisler, and people know what you're talking about. And here comes the St. Mary's team. 4 seniors, including that guy, the amazing Patrick Phillips, and then Kyle Kelly, who plays like a senior because he's already played probably 30 varsity games in his high school career. Bears basketball. Russell Smith's going to have a tremendous floor game here, and even above the floor, he's one of the better athletes, not just at Margaretta, but in the SBC. And he can play big because he has that great leaping ability. Kyle Kelly and those Panthers know that ball is going to go to Rob Lewis. And the left-hander drew the foul early on. Bears will check this one in front of their own student body. Lewis takes aim at a 3. He hit 7 in the last game of the week, Tom, and I believe that was tied the school record at that time. Or no, he set the individual school record, I think, at that time. Something or another, but the important part is he's still playing and rack him up. These teams would duke it out and trade baskets here early on, and eventually in this first quarter, these Panthers here are going to find the range from the arc. Phillips is trying to warm up, and he shows a good sign there. He's one of the rare players around the area, not just in the SBC, that will actually challenge the defense. Instead of kicking it out and waiting for a better chance, he will challenge the defense basically because he's good enough to, and it really puts pressure on individual defenders and coaches to make adjustments just for him, let alone his teammates. Margaretta with some good ball movement underneath there, and you notice the student body still on their feet. Brandon Wadding with a tough shot. Untraditional, but that's that Panther defense, and Wadding gets it to go. This one had all the makings of everything it was built out to be early on. Adam Kowaleski sets up his teammate that time. Gary Lawrence is the nightmare matchup of this century. When you have a 6'5.5" player with the range that he does, and here comes our Bowling Green State University Firelands College slow motion replay. Adam takes in 2 defenders, gives it up, and Gary, that's all money right there. Nothing but net. How do you match up with a guy like that unless you have someone 6'5" that can put their arms right up on him? Right back to the live action. Tape live action, freshly frozen. And Margaretta's on possession here. One dribble pull up for Kuntz, but Meisler happens to be in the right place at the right time. Andrew doesn't give up on the play, gets another shot back, but over everything. And Phillips is just the one-man game because he can do everything. He plays the entire court. Rebounds, shoots, dribbles, defends the high perimeter, defends the low blocks. Rebounds from every position on the court. It's just an amazing. And Phillips would end up, I think, with 27 points and 16 rebounds in this game. Gary's feeling it there. He got a good shot, didn't get it to fall down. And the Bears clear it, want to try and push this thing down on the Panthers and make them run full court for a little bit. Great man-up defense for the Panthers. Just a couple of dribbles here for the Bears, and they're looking to get rid of the basketball. Meisler to Lewis, and Kyle Kelly actually does a pretty good job man-for-man on Rob Lewis, and they tried to take Robbie inside at 6'4". Andrew Kuntz now back at his familiar point guard position. There's Russell Smith with that little giddy-up shot. Wadding, again, Wadding's one of those players that always happens to be around the action, and Derek Matthews is the secret ingredient that's not a secret anymore that makes the St. Mary's team spark that they have. They've got the shooters, they've got the talent, but he's the guy with the engine that can fire that team up and really get them on a tremendous run. Too much to counter. There's Rob Lewis doing what Rob Lewis does best.
He can sink them.
Yeah, those Bears are ready to play some defense now.
What year is Derek Matthews?
Derek, I'm going to say, is a senior. I think they have the 4 seniors and Special K right here with the basketball. Kyle's just the sophomore so far. Rare turnover that time for the Panthers. Got a little lazy on their passing, trying to find Gary Lawrence inside. Brandon Wadding leads the point. You actually have a lot of players on both teams in this game that can handle the basketball and get their teams into the offensive set. Russell Smith with that athleticism, and players just don't do it the way he does it. He has the natural gifts as we watch the Firelands College slow motion replay. Russell Smith, Jr., Margaretta High School, up and over. That's real nice.
That was a very pretty shot.
The home court touch for number 14. Still a good game right there, Tom, midway through this first quarter. And I'm waiting to find out when the Panthers open up that long-range arsenal. You can see Adam taking a step up to the line on this one, but he's going to find a better shot for one of the guys along the way here. Kelly and Kowaleski really balance the perimeter. There Kyle gets a look straight on. They're aggressive with it. They're not too fast, and they get him to go. And there's a lot of them that can do it. It's not just Kelly and Adam. Margaretta answers that time with the 2-pointer. Brandon Wadding right back at it, but the Panthers are not done by any means. And Mr. Lococo is still listening to the radio to find out that Fort Clinton score at this point. Adam over to Kyle. Derek with a 3-point shot, and that really sets the tone of what's coming. If you weren't at this game or if you didn't hear about it, they open it up from the perimeter, St. Mary's does, and then Patrick feeds off of that one. And they do it because they have the personnel that can do it. Very opportunistic and aggressive with the threes. Derek gets another good shot. It didn't fall, but again, a good look for him, and he was aggressive with it. Took the open shot like Kyle on that time. Boom. So they have one trip down the court. They get 2 3-point shots. and Kyle hits the second one. And right there you see Russell Smith and the Bears say, let's talk this over before things get too bad too early.
It's time now to thank some of my major sponsors on the Game of the Week after we see this BG slow-mo, Dave.
Again, Kyle Kelly takes great aim on that one, and they're getting everyone involved early on for the Panthers front-running SBC team.
Without these sponsors, of course, the Game of the Week would not be possible. I thank them dearly. There's
Lee Jordan.
Lee Jordan from Citizens Bank. This happens to be one of our sponsors on the Game of the Week. Anyway, here's some of our major sponsors. Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury brings you your player of the game later on at the end of the Game of the Week. Cameo Pizza, three-pointer of the week, celebrating 65 years. Cameo Pizza on Monroe Street. Firelands Regional Medical Center, of course, brings you the play of the game, celebrating the past, focusing on the future. High Miler Food Stores, they will bring you tonight's wonderful High Miler halftime. Parshall Rice Center, Fan of the Week. Everybody wants to be the Fan of the Week, Dave, and we've got some good ones tonight. And our eHobie Assist of the Game, the education you need, eHobie Career Center. And let's not forget our Firelands College slow-mo replays throughout tonight's telecast of the Game of the Week. Back to you, Dave.
Think about Lee Jordan, and he has ties to both of these communities, although a person in his position of business obviously would have ties to a lot of communities. As Margaretta, after the timeout, now had a couple shots on goal there, and the Panthers get out and run this one. And this brings up a good point before this game's said and done. St. Mary's is going to make 18 of 19 free throws in this game. Getting there 19 times is huge. To make 18 of them is really the difference, I've come to find out, in high school basketball. And Margaretta shows signs of being flustered there. That really was the first time, though, that Coach K brought the pressure all the way up the court instead of just to that three-quarters or mid-range token-style pressure. So Coach K and the guys have really sort of tweaked their game plan to try and match Troy after that timeout on this one. Adams going to set up Derek. They're real patient. I mean, they'll just work with you and find something good. They go with a high outside that time. Derek gets it back. The ball's bouncing their way, forces the issue. Even though it doesn't go, he's going to get 2 free looks at this one. And Derek's listed as 5'9" this year. Yep, senior year, I believe. That is the case. Margaretta's still in this one. But again, they need to match the blue and gold at this end of the court, especially the way St. Mary's is starting to and will heat up on the backboards. Now, every time Patrick or Gary Lawrence gets a foul, you wonder, ooh, is this one of those nights? Does one of these things start up again? But that wasn't the case. They did get a couple fouls along the way, but for the most part, they maintained their cool and played the defense straight up and very good defense in the low post for the Panthers. Great steal here by Adam Kovaleski. AK takes it all the way. A nice wrap-up around dish, and Patrick stayed with him that time. The pass could have came in a number of different varieties and angles, but Adam got him to him, and 23 finished for the Firelands College slow-motion replay.
You know, Dave, a lot of people have commented this year on the Game of the Week. They like that I'm shooting the Game of the Week down on the floor again, like I do football. The reason I do that is to get more color, more action, more sound, more close-ups, and that's why I'm down on the floor, not up in the up top, and people like that.
I mean, you're right with it, Tom. It's almost like watching this game as we voice it over here, that you're almost one of the 11th players on the court or something.
The purists sometimes may say, Tom, go up top, but most of the people like it from the floor.
It really provides the spice of the game, the fever of the game. Patrick Phillips with the defensive rebound pushes that ball all the way down court with the left hand. And that's right, Coach K. You've got a lot more to cheer for in this TW Teleproductions Game of the Week. Derek Matthews going back to the line, connecting again, and a great steal that time by Kyle Kelly.
That was nice.
Yep, the Panthers really showing signs of flashing their teeth on this one now. And this is another Firelands College slow-motion replay. Where is he to begin with? And then Shazam. And there she goes for 2 more.
I almost made that the play of the week, but I didn't. A little hint there, I didn't. That was in the offing. That was in the wings.
I believe, Tom, you've had a number of great plays to select from. Both sides of the ball. We have a 25-13 score at this point. Rob Lewis wants to answer in and out, and that was really the tail of the tape for Margaretta in the third quarter. We'll see that during the second half of this Game of the Week production. Margaretta stays aggressive on the defensive end here, but maybe too aggressive for Jake Meisler. They know things might be hurting a little bit at the offensive end, so they try to crank things up and make it tougher, at least on this Panther offense here. But again, look, St. Mary's is in no hurry. They'll hurry when they want to, when they have the chance. But they like to dictate at both ends of the court the tempo and how the game's going to be played out. 7 wins in a row again going into this game. And tied with Port Clinton on top of the SBC. Heron hanging right there, just a game behind, looking inside the window, if you will.
I'm really looking forward to following the Panthers in the tournament trail this year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
There's the end of the period.
I don't want to say too much too soon. It
No.
isn't going to be easy, but
No.
but they have a tremendous team with a lot of great stuff that can really happen.
Dr. Miley cheering on is the faithful there. Dave, we'll be back with more Game of the Week right after we hear these messages from our all-important sponsors. Barnes Nursery and Garden Center, Ohio's finest. Chicago Hair, 2 locations. Chet and Matt's Family Pizza, the best around. Key Bank, Washington Row and Columbus Avenue. Ruth Realty, Coldwell Banker. Margaritaville, Mex-American Cuisine. The Portland House. When you move to the Portland House, you change your address, not your lifestyle. The Cable System. We never forget you're watching. Gallagher's, home of Pittsburgh Paints. Precision Body and Frame, The Professionals. Vacationland Federal Credit Union, 2 locations to serve you best. Asher Brothers Auto Parts, your Auto Pride Auto Parts dealer. Advanced Health, Orthopedic Sport and Spine Rehabilitation Center of Erie County. Our strength is quality. Max and Irma's, Sandusky's new hometown favorite. Show your ticket stub before or after any game and receive 10% off your total food bill. Max and Irma's, a Schuster family concept in front of the Sandusky Mall. The Game of the Week brought to you by the law firm of Buckingham, Lucal, McGookie, and Zire, serving your community for over 50 years with offices in Sandusky and Vermilion. Firelands Regional Medical Center, Sandusky. Marconi's, the best Italian restaurant in the area. The Citizens Banking Company, serving you since 1884. Polar Sheet Metal Works, your local Bryant dealer. The J.A. Truth Packing Company, quality people making quality pork products. Casper Transportation, Buick, Pontiac, and GMC trucks. Lee's Famous Recipe, the best chicken you'll find anywhere. The Community at Parkview, Retirement Community and Health Care Center. Coach's Sports Corner in the Sandusky Plaza. The Castelia Banking Company, 208 Washington Street, Castelia. All right, Dave, back to the Game of the Week, second period action.
That was a high-scoring first quarter, especially for St. Mary's. And Troy's got these Bears again trying to crank up and match the intensity of St. Mary's. So Andrew Kuntz comes out, and Andrew's really asserted himself this season, especially getting that ball and taking it right to the rim against a lot of those taller players, and it pays off that time for the senior at Margaretta. Now, they want to counter a little bit with some pressure on the blue and gold here and make them work for some baskets and even challenge them up and down the court here a little bit. Margaretta has the talent to do it. Experience is really the big thing. And I go back to Kyle Kelly. He's starting with 4 seniors, and they've played together for 2.5 seasons now. They have their lapses, a rare turnover, and there's a new player in there for St. Mary's, Matt Morsick, saying, where did that pass go? It wasn't to me. But the blue and gold will hang tough here, and they regroup quickly. A sign of all good teams, battle-tested teams, if you will.
There's a shot at Troy Roth before. He is an excellent coach. You know that?
Yeah, Troy really loves what he's doing. He wanted a head coaching opportunity in the worst way. He's been at Margaret 2 years. Just crushed with the injury bug this year, and last year a nice transition basket for Tom Fluting. And even though he's 6'3" on this one with your Firelands College slow motion replay, watch Tom extend almost as if he were to be 6'5" or 6'6". He's on the left side of the basket, but the right hand leads the way, takes it right off the glass, and that's an easy 2 for the Panthers in transition.
Yeah, going back to coaches Troy and Coach K, 2 top shelf guys, I'll tell you.
Yep, and they both genuine people. Talked with them ahead of time in the pregame show, and they know each other and respect each other, but at this point, before the game, there's nothing more they want to do than beat each other's basketball team.
Look at Phillips, geez.
Yeah, Patrick Phillips just being Patrick Phillips. Not only is he the best player around, he's probably one of the best practice guys around. You always hear about his practice habits.
Tonight's Game of the Week is brought to you by these fine sponsors, Dave. Firelands College bring you the replays. Ehovie Career Center will have the assist of the game coming at the end of the game. Our good folks at Power Shower Rice Center have tonight's Fan of the Week. High Miler Food Stores brings you our High Miler halftime coming up here shortly. Let us not forget the good folks out at Firelands Regional Medical Center will bring you tonight's play of the game, and Cameo Pizza. Oh, a good three-pointer of the week tonight, celebrating 65 years. And also Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury, player of the game, your A and Z plan headquarters. Back to you, David.
Margaretta faced with a big challenge here as St. Mary's is just starting to pull things away here in the second quarter. Jake Meisler and the Bears back on offense. Look at the crowd back there, a tremendous crowd. You see a lot of green, and they just really wanted another Port Clinton pull-off here on this one. Rob Hahn is in the game. He gets a steal there now. A little bit of sickness early on there, and set up one of his teammates for an open shot. Jake Meisler is just being everywhere for Margaretta, but there seems to be some type of ice coating here at the Bear layer on that rim. Now number 30 can fire that thing down, and that's the case. Rob Lewis, boom. He makes the three-point shot look so easy, and if you've tried, they're not. A lot of these St. Mary's kids as well can take aim at the long-range ball. Kyle Kelly and Matt Borsick playing catch-up high. They're making that Margaretta defense squirm, but Meisler on the back lines now with the lead pass for Andrew Kuntz ahead of the pack. And that foul, traveling on the perimeter as Andrew tried to turn the corner that time. 10-point advantage, second quarter for St. Mary's. And Patrick Phillips just asserts himself, gets his own rebound, and he's almost like a one-man wrecking crew out there. That's not to say that he doesn't play with the team. They understand that he's got to get that motor going, so they let him do his thing, and they feed off of him. Or in the case of this game, the other four got going, and he fed off of them. Back to the offensive end, Rob Hahn with the basket. Talked with his dad again before the game last time, and sort of tried to size this one up, and Rob's dad says they've got an awful lot, and I try to politely say, yes, they do. Derek Matthews back in the game for Coach K and the guys now. And this offense is really a work of art. They're just being patient and working that basketball, doing what they have to do. Derek takes aim with the three ball. Again, does it matter that it went in or not, or that he took the shot? And you feel as though if they get them and you keep taking them, they're going to go. Rob Lewis will tell you that one. Now watch out when Phillips gets the rebound out that far. He can lead it by himself. Draws a lot of attention then. Gets it right back from Derek. Goes against three Polar Bears. And there is just collision everywhere in that one. That's a good sign that lets you know it's not always pretty. A lot of times things can happen. Good things can result from an ugly play here and there. Matt McGorry's the guy I forgot last week from Margaretta. He's just a sophomore. He gets a lot of time in here against this front line for St. Mary's, and Matt's actually going to do a pretty good job. Now, he doesn't score a lot of points in this game, maybe just a basket or two. But he really does a lot of the ball handling in the half-court set. Just Gary Lawrence playing tremendous defense. Don't say he's a one-dimensional player, because he proved in this game that he can play the whole floor. And Phillips, that's just amazing. Now, there's no way anyone's going to stop that play. And that's justifiably, Tom, you picked that one right. Fireland's college slow-motion replay. Watch what he does with the basketball. You don't just do this on a Friday night. You practice this in 107-degree temperature in the summer. And then it becomes easy on a Friday night when you've got a real important game for an SBC championship on the line. I've always heard about Patrick Phillips' practice habits. Tough shot for Rob Hahn. And St. Mary's allows the Bears to get one shot and out. Phillips now with a shot from the perimeter. Rob Lewis takes away the second chance opportunities for the Panthers. Matt McGorry forces the issue. Now that might be his basket, but that really is a dandy shot because he's going down on the left side of the court, draws the contact and flips that ball in off the glass with the right hand, going away from the backboard. There's the brain trust, Coach K and Troy Roth. And Troy just comes from an athletic family, a coaching family, through and through. Little isolation here for Adam Kovalevsky. Lost the basketball. AK is going to get it back. And he'll work on Brandon Wadding. Patrick Phillips posts up, goes right over Rob Hahn. And Jake Meisler clears the boards for that sophomore, Matt McGorry. Matt is the younger brother of Dan, I understand, who's one of those four seniors that's out with the knee injury for the Polar Bears this year. Shot on goal that time for Brandon Wadding. Got his own rebound, clears it back now. And Rob Lewis is going to go to work for the green and white. McGorry gets good penetration there. And Rob Hahn bails him out on the loose basketball. Turnover to Derek Matthews. Yeah, Derek's just going to take that one coast to coast and let Tom Cluting finish it off because he's 6'4". If you're big and you bring the ball down, Derek Matthews is going to take it from you. So if you're big, you might just have a better chance keeping that ball somewhere above your head until you can find one of your little guys to handle the dribbling duties. Jake Meisler again with another spin move, and St. Mary's is just all over it at the defensive end. Special K leads the break for the blue and gold. He can dribble up the court 60 miles an hour and then just stop where he wants to and back him out and set up the offense. Patrick with a tough shot on goal that time, and Jake cleans it up for the Bears. Rob Lewis looking for a good shot on goal. The Panthers know it, though, and they meet him right about at half court every time. St. Mary's is just relentless on defense. It's not necessarily smothering, but it's overly opportunistic, I guess. Gary Lawrence, boom. See, when a guy backs up the court and he's sort of hopping like that, you want to get him the basketball if you're on his team, because he's going to do that again an awful lot, I think. He's feeling it. And the Panthers are really showing signs of takeover here just before the half. Brandon Whiting, his points aren't easy, and they're not necessarily the prettiest things, but if they go in that basket, you take them. Brandon's one of those players that Troy talked about also during the pregame that has really emerged. He's needed him to emerge, and he hasn't disappointed for the Polar Bear faithful so far this season. Troy tries changing up the defense again. Adam Kovaleski's just sort of going to fade his way in there, lean one towards the basket, put it in. Adams checking in about 5'10", I think they list him. I thought he was actually a little taller, but I think his younger brother Aaron's got the height on him. Matt McGorry still running that point position for the Bears, looping around here to Russell Smith. Russell on occasion looks like he always wants to have a takeover potential there, but tries to keep it within the team context. Nice no-look dish from Derek Matthews. Now he gets the rebound, all of 5'9". He gets the rebound from Phillips on the missed shot, but I guess he got the rebound because he committed a personal foul that time. There's Russell with a nice jump shot. Great athleticism. And that's going to do it for the half. Now, if that thing would have went, the roof would have caved in, I think.
Well, that's the end of the first half, Dave, and we've got a pretty good game going on. We've got a great second half coming, though, so please stay tuned. This is TW Teleproductions Game of the Week. Groff Funeral Homes, caring for our community since 1902. Berardi's Family Kitchen, taste a homemade touch. Gilbert Heating and Air Conditioning, the service company since 1958. The United Way of Erie County, the way America cares, community by community. Cameo Pizza, rated best pizza in Sandusky. The Portland House. When you move to the Portland House, you change your address, not your lifestyle. Sandusky Paint, your local Pittsburgh paint dealer. Butler Auto Glass, your PPG Pro Stars dealer. The Sandusky Register, voted best daily newspaper 2 years in a row. The AV Lake Construction Company, committed to building service. Snow Trails, Ohio's first and finest ski resort. The Castella Banking Company, 208 Washington Street, Castelia. For the best in wall covering and flooring needs, Creative Floors is the only place to go. Creative Floors offers quality, service, value, and design. Creative Floors. From floors to walls, we cover it all. All Phase Power and Lighting is proud to be a sponsor of the Game of the Week. All Phase Power and Lighting is the area's premier electrical contractor. Good luck to all area athletes and fans from All Phase Power and Lighting. It is now time for our High Miler Food Store's halftime show. You're going to like this one. Well done, ladies. High Miler Food Stores has brought you the High Miler Halftime.
Max and Irma's, Sandusky's new hometown favorite. Show your ticket stub before or after any game and receive 10% off your total food bill. Max and Irma's, a Schuster family concept in front of the Sandusky Mall. The Game of the Week brought to you by the law firm of Buckingham, Lucal, McGookie, and Zire, serving your community for over 50 years with offices in Sandusky and Vermilion.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's Erie County Visions, brought to you by the law firm of Buckingham, Lucal, McGookie, and Zire. Kind of a gray day today, but we ventured out to Pelton Park in Perkins Township. That exemplifies winter in Sandusky. Enjoy. This has been Erie County Visions, brought to you by the law firm of Buckingham, Lucal, McGookie, and Zire. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll do that every week on the Game of the Week. Had a lot of good comments on that so far. All right, David, back to you, second half.
In that first half, we had a chance to watch St. Mary's and Margaretta duke this thing out. The Panthers got some looks in the first quarter there, some open shots. Now, the tough part for Margaretta is coming up right here. Their shots on goal in this quarter are good shots when they get them. There's a turnover, but they just won't go. And we're sitting for the radio at this point level with the Margaretta basket at the other end, as you see down there. And the ball just will not fall on the rim for the Green at this time. St. Mary's tries to establish Gary Lawrence down low early on, and the Bears come out fired up. And if you just take a look here and see these shots by Margaretta, and it's not just here or in that series, it's going to come up for like the whole third quarter. Jake Meisler stays up, and St. Mary's then will not let up at the offensive end. Relentless. Lawrence and Phillips are a tremendous 1-2 combination, and the best part about their 1-2 combination is while Patrick normally is the 1 and Lawrence is the 2, they can easily interchange that if people try to jam up on Patrick. Gary will easily take over as he does here at the defensive end, and he can become the main man at the offensive threat because they'll always have the core and supporting cast around that'll get their 10 points or so a game. But Patrick insists on getting his points. He's one of those guys that has to get that motor going and get that system generating, and he plays better longer into the game, which is why a kid like him can get 27 points and 17 rebounds a game. Brandon Whiting there just showing sign he's improving every trip down the court with that three-point basket. Gary wants to match the three, and again we see Derek Matthews, the point man, inside big on the offensive glass for the blue and gold. Derek, you come away with 14 points in this game, and you actually, I think, are second to Patrick in the scoring column. That's part of that scoring potential, the scoring pop that the blue and gold can hit you with this year. Jake's going to play a little position ball on Gary Lawrence, who really played disciplined defense. Let Meisler make his move. Let him get off a tough challenge shot. And then the ball out of bounds back to the Panthers here at the offensive end. Watch Patrick move. He passed that ball, and he's on the move. He's going after something else. And maybe he'll be rewarded and have that ball come back his way at some point in time. On the perimeter, he wants to work a little shake and bake against Russell Smith, who matches him with elevation. And Rob Lewis comes away with the rebound for the Bears. The Bears are keeping their cool now. They're a young team, and they're playing a very experienced team. McGorry starting off for Margaretta, and Derek Matthews relentless on the defensive end. I tell you, Matthews had 14 points in this game, but look at all the rebounds and steals. Sort of that stuff feeds off of each other when you start playing all aspects of the game. And Patrick Phillips with a little Statue of Liberty flip in right through the center of the key. And that does deserve, Tom, you're right on, a Firelands College slow motion replay. One hand right over the top of the iron, swish.
Yeah, I wish I could do replays for every play, but Game of the Week's only an hour long, Dave.
Matt McCory back for the Bears. A nice dish inside, tough handle, but a good second dish. And that Panther defense just collides then. They recognize what's going on so quickly, and then they physically get to where they have to be and stifle out the play before it even has a chance of developing. Gary Lawrence hanging around that perimeter, and Jake's going to have to stay on him. They both go about 6'5" or 6'6". Derek Matthews with a little inside-out pass. He knows where to find those shooters at. Top of the key, and Patrick inside. The foul that time before the basket. Russell Smith at 5'10" and a half, matching up on Patrick Phillips, who's over 6'3". And Troy says, what do we do about that? Tony Cromer's thinking about it. It's just a tough matchup. Gary plays a great game inside and outside and on the defensive end this time. You know, he does get inside. He gets some defensive rebounds. He will keep a ball alive at the offensive end if one caroms off his way. Not just a one-dimensional player, even though the long-range shooting is by far one of his strengths when it comes to basketball. Around and out for Margaretta. I just feel for these kids. I'm at eye level over there calling the game, and the ball just will not go through the cylinder in this third quarter. Derek Matthews pushes one down the lane, wraps it underneath the defender and gets it to go. And Troy takes that quick TO right here. And again, the hoop that Margaret is having problems with down there is the same one that St. Mary's was bullseye on those three-point shots, but not in the first quarter of this game.
Tonight's Game of the Week is brought to you by Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury. They bring you tonight's Player of the Game. Also, Cameo Pizza will be awarding the Three-Pointer of the Week, celebrating 65 years. Cameo Pizza. Firelands Regional Medical Center, the Play of the Game, celebrating the past, focusing on the future. You saw tonight's halftime show brought to you by Heimeiler Food Stores and their Heimeiler halftime. Park Shower Ice Center, our Fan of the Week, Dave, is coming up soon. And also tonight's Assist of the Game is sponsored by eHobie Career Center for the education you need. Firelands College, slow motion replays all throughout tonight's Game of the Week.
Right back to the action with the Bears here. Troy took that quick TO. And again, I talk about the shooting woes this quarter for Margaretta. I should also give credit to the Panther defense because they probably played a part in that. And of course, as Derek Matthews shows, Margaretta gets one shot and that's it. He leads the pack and does a one-man gang thing down there and gets a nice breakaway basket for the Panthers. Derek's had a great career for St. Mary's, and I know that he wants to play an awful lot of more games before that career comes to an end this senior season. Rob Lewis, the left-hander, he rattles that one in. And that's going to be one of the rare few ones this third quarter because I think you actually see a touch of frustration set in this young Polar Bear team. And Patrick Phillips just forced his will against Russell Smith. That is not bad defense by Russell Smith. He stayed right with Patrick, and Patrick just took that extension right around to the right and kissed that one in for an easy three-point play. Brandon Whiting had a tough defensive effort that time by the Panthers. And Derek Matthews with a beady pass to Adam Kowaleski. Nice hands by AK.
Not just a replay coming up here.
Yeah, yep. Nice call, Tom. Firelands College slow motion replay. Adam, not just to catch that 100-mile-an-hour pass, but then to actually control it, get it to go towards the backboard and convert it for a basket. Tremendous play by Adam Kowaleski. Rob Lewis with another three-point shot, just caroms too strong. And the Bears have to go back and try and defend this Panther attack one more time. Kyle Kelly has possession. Kelly and Kowaleski really are the guys that balance the team. And they let all these other guys do their special fortes of whatever they may have. And then they can hit you with a number of shooting specialists of their own, if you will, long range or off the dribble. The experience of the St. Mary's team now, and we're still talking about high school kids, but for the number of games they've played at the varsity level and played together, they just know how to go about it. There's the brain trust for the Panthers. They're having a great JV season, by the way, as well. Really got the program cooking at the top grade levels. St. Mary's High School. Tough shot for the Bears. Offensive rebound. Russell Smith gets another shot on goal. In and out. I mean, now how does that ball not go in? It's actually a home court, too. Just one of those odd nights where the karma wasn't their way. Gary Lawrence wants to take a three ball. Patrick Phillips got a rebound against three Polar Bears. Just an outstanding effort. Couldn't get the basket to go, however. And the Panthers want to play a little three-court token D here on the green. Andrew Kuntz back in to run the offensive set. Rob Lewis is going to stay in there. They try to set up a design play for Rob Hahn, and he's just not feeling like himself this week, or obviously during this game for the Polar Bears. Backcourt violation for the Bears will give that ball back to St. Mary's. Lawrence and Kowaleski can play a little two-man. That's a pro-style setup, big and low, but Kowaleski wants to find the third man in the fray. And the fourth man got you. If Patrick Phillips on that possession is the fourth option, what do you do? Yeah, Coach K knows it. That is a tremendous 3 quarters his team put together, and better things are on the horizon.
Well, there it is, Dave. End of the third quarter. Tonight's game of the week from the Bear Lair in Margaretta. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after these words.
Ehovie Career Center, the education you need. Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury. Matthews has it all. Sandusky Orthopedic Surgeons and Rheumatology in the Firelands Professional Building. Remax Quality Realty, 1610 Cleveland Road. Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers, 3 great locations. Autos Incorporated, your local Armstrong dealer. See Bill Kohler for all your heating and air conditioning needs. Corso's Flower and Garden Center since 1941. David F. Cook Funeral Home, family owned and operated. Sandusky Motors, your Honda, Volkswagen, and Audi dealer. Wagner Quarries, crushed limestone products. Firelands Regional Medical Center, School of Nursing. The Cable System, we never forget you're watching. The Parshauer Eye Center, 2020 Hayes Avenue. Asher Brothers Auto Parts, your Auto Pride Auto Parts dealer. Barnes Nursery and Garden Center, Ohio's finest. Chet and Matt's Family Pizza, the best around. For the best in wall covering and flooring needs, Creative Floors is the only place to go. Creative Floors offers quality, service, value, and design. Creative Floors, from floors to walls, we cover it all. Join the fun and meet your friends at the area's newest place to be, Manny's Sports Tavern and Grill, on the corner of Bogert and Milan Roads. Manny's Sports Tavern and Grill. See you at Manny's. Barnes Nursery and Garden Center, Ohio's finest. The J.A. Truth Packing Company, quality people making quality pork products. The A.V. Lake Construction Company, committed to building service. Advanced Health, Orthopedic Sport and Spine Rehabilitation Center of Erie County. Our strength is quality. The Citizens Banking Company, serving you since 1884. Cook Building Products, your local Anderson Service Network dealer. 1615 East Perkins Avenue, Sandusky. Bowling Green State University, Firelands College. High Miler Food Stores with 5 convenient locations. Snow Trails, Ohio's first and finest ski resort. The Lodge at Sawmill Creek Resort. Toft Funeral Home and Crematory. Stephen J. Toft, owner. Cliffs Carryout. Good luck to all area athletes from the Sherg family. Window Plumbing and Heating. Vacationland Federal Credit Union. 2 locations to serve you best. The Cable System. We never forget you're watching. The Community at Parkview. Retirement Community and Health Care Center.
Oh, yeah, it's time for the much-awaited Parshauer Eye Center Fan of the Week, Dave. It's Bellies of the Week is what that is over in the Bear Lair.
That's unique.
I love the way people get all fired up for the Fan of the Week. They really do. We get all kinds of different looks every week.
And the game of the week and the Fan of the Week, certainly a big deal as we're back to fourth quarter action here. And St. Mary's is just 1 quarter away from locking up their 8th win in a row. They've approached each game on an individual basis this year, and that's why they've come away with a 16-2 record. They just didn't go out one weekend and win 8 games in a row, as a lot of teams would like to do. They've paid the price. And Jake Meisler and the guys. Margaret is in a situation where with this young club, just 2 seniors that actually are playing and able to play this year for Margaretta, this is a tough game. They want to win this game. Their fans want them to win the game. And all you can say is, and I know it doesn't do justification, but they got tremendous experience playing against a front-running team, not just in the conference, but really in the entire area. Russell Smith with a good basket down there for Margaretta moments ago. Patrick inside loses the handle, and he's just a war machine out there. Relentless effort, and then he goes back and plays defense like there's nothing to it. Ryan Arnold from Margaretta with a little contact. And we just haven't seen much of this tonight. The Bears at the free throw line down the fourth quarter when both these teams start getting the second stringers in there. We'll see some free throws coming up both ways. But for the most part, those first 3 quarters, the blue and gold found the stripe. And believe you me, they cashed in tonight. Rob Lewis and the guys playing tough here. Still trying to figure out their offensive woes. Too good a defense that time for St. Mary's, and Jake's going to get a couple looks on goal. Jake Meisler, by the way, is a standout football player, even though he is 6'6". And believe you me, when he's on the football field, you know which one he is.
Tonight's Game of the Week is brought to you by Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury on Perkins Avenue. See the guys down there for a great new or used car. Cameo Pizza has tonight's three-pointer of the week. Cameo Pizza, Monroe Street. Firelands Regional Medical Center will be bringing you tonight's play of the game. You already saw the High Miler halftime brought to you by High Miler Food Stores. And also tonight's Fan of the Week was brought to you by Parshower Eye Center. And we'll be looking forward to seeing who the assist of the game is, brought to you by eHobie. And Bowling Green Firelands College has tonight's slow motion replays. Tonight's ski report: snow trails in Mansfield, 36 inches to 42 inches of base, groomed granular, 16 slopes open, all 6 lifts are operating. Call 1-800-332-SNOW. When I was down there last weekend, the conditions are phenomenal, even despite the lack of snow around here. Dave?
Right back to the fourth quarter. Troy gets the troops together here as the J-Train looks on with Corbin. I can't think of Brandon's first name. I think it's Brandon. John signed the letter of intent to play football at Kent State. That's a great opportunity, not just for John, but for the school district to watch one of their own go on and excel at the next level, and that is some great competition at the MAC. That is Division I college football. Don't be fooled, folks. He will get bigger, he will get faster, and he will get stronger, and it's just hard to believe knowing that John checks in right now at about a mere 6'4".
He'll be playing against my cherished Bobcats.
Oh, OU.
Oh, absolutely.
If you really look around the MAC, folks, in football, there is a lot of local flavor hidden around there, and John's going to represent the Polar Bears well.
OU could use John with the season OU had last year.
Jake Meisler inside. Gary Lawrence, real patient on defense, gets a hand on that one, and Patrick Phillips plays off the defensive stand by Gary, grabs that rebound, and the Panthers are still looking to break that one out if they can. Phillips at the offensive end, again, 27 points, 16 rebounds in this game, and that's just a meal ticket for Patrick Phillips. It's a day's work at the office. Tried too much there, I believe, and ran right over Matt McBory. Oh, the office.
There it is. Go ahead and give your radio station some plugs, Dave. You guys do a wonderful job.
And those 3 stations are working the People's Choice Awards, so look for the bright pink ballots. Fill them out, turn them in, and we'll do what we can do.
Mix 102, WLAC, and Magic. Hungry just watching that.
Oh, boy.
Next week's game features Perkins and St. Mary's at the Den, Dave.
We'll have a chance to see the Panthers again next week, and that's also a game I believe I'm going to be at now with a scheduling change at Radioland, and have a chance to watch a great backyard rival. 2 teams hook it up, and St. Mary's again, game for game, needs to take care of business as Coach T.J. James and the Perkins Pirates come a-calling.
Also brought to you tonight, Bosco Cement, one of our fine sponsors, Spear Brothers Construction on Old Ray Road, J.C. Ready Mix Company. Also brought to you tonight by Periodical Publishers Service Bureau Incorporated and by Gunlock Sheet Metal Works on Columbus Avenue in Sandusky.
Right back to the fourth quarter action. And now we see Troy Ross start to bring in some of the young blood. Kevin Robacher, a sophomore. I believe that's Kevin Robacher, yes, 6-foot sophomore. He's going to be one of the Bears to finish out this game. Traveling violation. Grant Kuntz, by the way, is out there, so Andrew and Grant, the Kuntz brothers, have a chance to sort of tandem up in the backcourt here for the Bears to ride this thing out. Shot on goal for St. Mary's from three-point land. Matt Borsick with a tremendous battle inside for the rebound, and the jump ball call is going to give that back to the green team. Brian Kingsborough in there as well. Make no mistake about it, when you see Brian Kingsborough, you know he's one of the football standouts for the Polar Bears. You see Brian on the basketball court, and you feel like you forgot to take off his shoulder pads before the game or something. Steal by Robacher at the defensive end, and the sophomore takes it up himself, goes all the way to the glass, and Tom Puding doesn't let him finish, but Kevin's going to get a couple free throws out of it for the Bears. Nice shot on goal that time for Tom Cluting. I think he hits double digits in this game. And he's matched up down there with Kingsborough for the Bears.
He's a good basketball player, including.
Yeah, Tom is a tremendous addition for this team. Now look what he's doing there. One-man defensive stand, takes the ball up himself, gets a shot on goal, and that's a guy that's going to check in about 6'3" or 6'4" for you, and he's your third big man. He comes off the bench as your first big man. A tremendous asset for any basketball team. Ryan Arnold with a couple looks inside, but again, for whatever reason, the ball just not falling for the Bears more often than not this half. Matt Borsick, a couple shots on goal for the Panthers. Andrew Kuntz will force the issue. Before things are said and done, I think Andrew gets 12 or 14 points out of this, and he'll probably lead the Bears at the end of this game. A lot of new bodies out there. Brian Wagner, he's the student body favorite for St. Mary's. Every good team has a player like Brian, and at St. Mary's Central Catholic High School, he's that player. Andrew Kuntz, the top of the key, working against Wagner a little bit. And Kevin Robacher on the perimeter. Cluting almost got a steal, and Kingsborough got caught with a backcourt violation trying to circle the wagons around. 72-43 right there, and we're winding down this fourth quarter of play. Aaron Kovaleski on the court now for the Panthers as well, and I believe they said Aaron's checking in around 6'3". Holy cow, I didn't know that. He's still growing too, that's the scary part. And St. Mary still stays within their offensive plan. They don't change anything up here. They just have new personnel out there. And AK number 2 shows you how to get it done. Relentless effort though for Andrew Kuntz. The Bears just won't let up on St. Mary's. Continue to hammer this thing out in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter. And I tell you what, no matter if it's radio or television replay, trying to pick up the 10 new players all at once is a challenge any way you look at it. Ryan Arnold inside. Nice effort, goes under the basket. And he had a good time that night, actually, Tom, with the St. Mary's student body.
He did.
The student body wanted to see Wagner. They got Wagner. Then they wanted to go over and have fun with Arnold a little bit, and Ryan did not disappoint. And, of course, when Ryan Arnold's having fun, it seems like the whole gym is having fun somehow. Tom Cluting, wrap-around hook shot. Bingo. Another day at the office for Tom. Brian Kingsborough wants to go back and match Tom on that one. And number 50 will get a couple looks at the rim from the free throw line. Around and in that time, Grant Kuntz. Grant's had a tremendous JV season for the Polar Bears. A couple of sophomore guards. Margaret will have a good chance looking at coming up here. There's a nice shot at Tom Cluting getting a free throw for the Panthers. Just 2 games left for St. Mary's. Your next game of the week coming up on Friday at the Den. Great drive straight up the lane that time for Andrew Kuntz against Perkins. And that's going to be their final home game at the Den for the senior crew, so we'll expect a jam-packed crowd. 3-ball on goal for Wagner, and that student body back there was just waiting for him to put that one in. There's the final horn. 78-55. Just too much St. Mary's too early on. And these guys really know each other.
And if you haven't been to a basketball game lately, folks, make sure a good chance will be next Friday's Perkins and St. Mary's. It'll be a fun game.
Tom, I'm right with you. I couldn't agree more. If you're a Panther fan or if you have some family or relatives in the Panther program, get out and watch your final home game.
Here's tonight's Ehovia assist of the game.
And actually, Tom, you've picked one tonight that has the dual assist. And that's where it goes from Phillips to Kyle Kelly. And inside to Tom Cluting. Now in hockey, both those players get credit for an assist.
That's right. That's tonight's EHOV Career Center assist of the game. Coming up next, Dave, we have the Cameo Pizza three-pointer of the week.
These players are so good at three-point shots anymore.
Thank you, ladies. Here you go, Dave.
And they're right on cue. These kids are so good at three-pointers anymore, it's hard to pick which one to go with. But Special K dials went up, and that's Kyle Kelly finding the range early on in that first half for St. Mary's, which really gave them the separation for this big victory in Castelia.
Here's our play of the game, brought to you by Firelands Regional Medical Center.
And the play of the game is going to come over to Russell Smith. They clear it out for him. He takes a left-handed drive, just one dribble, goes over the defender. Boom, straight through for Margaretta.
Nicely done, nicely done. That's tonight's Firelands Regional Medical Center play of the game, celebrating the past, focusing on the future. Now here's tonight's Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury player of the game. Who do you think, Dave?
Well, if there's the one man tonight that just really came through. He had to wait his turn a little bit, but his teammates got him going. And the Prince, Patrick Phillips, goes over the top. 27 points, 16 rebounds. Grabs his lunch pail and heads home for another day. Good job, Patrick.
That's tonight's Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury player of the game.
Big crowd on hand for the game. And again, I imagine we'll have Mark Fogg back in here next week probably for the game of the week with St. Mary's.
You've done a nice job for us, Dave. Thank you very much for filling in for Mark. And once again, our condolences to Mark Fogg and his family because of the passing of Mark's father.
I want to thank you for the opportunity, Tom. And I tell you what, folks, it's truly amazed what one man can do, but a tremendous production, and it's been a pleasure working with you.
My pleasure, Dave. Nice job. We'll see you next week. It'll be St. Mary's and Perkins. That is next week's Game of the Week.